And now, with Granada Goals Extra, here's Elton Welsby.
Good evening, everyone. Some surprise goals, some good goals, some late goals and some early goals. And two very precious goals in the Premiership this afternoon for Everton. Only their second win so far this season. Andrei Kanchelskis and Graham Stewart. And of course the two clubs locked at the bottom of the Premier League, Coventry and Blackburn, sharing a 0-0 draw. Let's have a look at the top of the Premiership, which is somewhat false because Liverpool, Newcastle and Manchester United didn't play today. And Wimbledon, remarkably, have moved up to third place. Blackburn Rovers, sadly, still bottom of the Premier League with only 3 points from 8 games so far this season. Right, well, Bolton's policy has been all-out attack. They're the country's top entertainers in the nationwide league, and with hopes, nothing more than that, of notching up 30 goals before the end of September. Well, it would be incredible, but it's not going to happen now, not after that result, thanks, and they're also losing their 100% home record to a very last-minute goal by Lou Macari's gutsy and never-say-die Stoke City. Mike Sadler.
Bolton began oozing all the confidence a 5-match unbeaten run brings. Per Fransson's solo effort, a mark of the home side's dominance. And they could have taken the lead just over half an hour in when Chris Fairclough's snapshot rolled just wide of the upright. But Stoke's good fortune was soon to change. On the stroke of half-time, Nathan Blake got the better of Lars Sigurdsson through sheer strength. 1-0, a fair reflection of the opening period. Bolton could have secured the win after an hour when Scott Sellers almost marked his comeback from injury with a goal after some fine individual skill. But Lou Macari's side are nothing if not tenacious, and they came within an ace of levelling things just 3 minutes later through Lars Sigurdsson. Bolton escaping that time, but the warning was not heeded, and Stoke snatched a point right at the death. The on-loan signing from Middlesbrough, Graham Kavanagh, the hero for the travelling fans. 1-1, the final score.
Well, Manchester City's problems are just going from bad to worse. On the field, off the field, it doesn't really seem to make much difference. Well, another defeat today, this time at Sheffield United, and another blow to their morale as well. 2-0 the score. Mike Sadler, the reporter.
City's luck shows no sign of changing for the better. They conceded a harsh penalty right at the end of the first half. Darren Wassell, the man penalised by the referee Ken Lynch. And Sheffield's Mitch Ward accepted the opportunity, United enjoying perhaps a fortuitous half-time lead. They're still looking for a manager, and City's caretaker boss Asa Hartford must be wringing his hands in despair. Gareth Taylor made it 2-0, and the Blues continue at Main Road for Manchester City.
Well, following the encouragement of their Coca-Cola success at Tranmere during the week, Oldham went to Charlton in search of their first league win. They're still waiting. I'm sure they'd have settled for a point and would have got one if games, well, lasted 86 minutes. Mark Alderton.
After a drab and goalless first 45 minutes, it was all Charlton in the second half. Bradley Allen just failing to connect from a John Robertson free kick. Charlton continued to press forward. Mark Kinsella's shot was smartly saved by Gary Kelly, and Nicky Henry scrambled it off the line. The Latics looked to have held on for a point, but with just 4 minutes to go, a strong run from Ricky Otto was finished off by David White, and Oldham went down to their 7th defeat of the season.
Well, Tranmere have been having a rough ride, haven't they? 2 straight league defeats and dumped out of the Coca-Cola Cup by Oldham. But whenever John Aldridge is playing, there's always a chance for them. And that's a good point at Norwich today. We can see Aldo's goal. It came in the first half, his 9th of the season. Good work by Brannan and Ivano Benetti. A miss-hit by Paul Cook, you have to say, but John Aldridge doesn't miss-hit them from there. Well, there we go, top of Division 1, Bolton's lead. Could have been 4 points if they'd have held on against Stoke, who are in 6th place. And let's have a look at the bottom. Oldham, well, still down there with only 2 points. Port Vale, they play tomorrow. Right, well, home advantage is normally good enough for Burnley, although they were outsmarted by Charlton in the Coca-Cola Cup on Tuesday night, and going down again today for the 3rd time this season at Turf Moor. Jonathan Parry.
Burnley crashed out of the Coca-Cola Cup in midweek, and Bristol City were quick to take advantage of the home side's recent dip in form. Sean Gota showing a good degree of skill before lofting in the opener on 12 minutes. Keeper Marlon Beresford totally stranded. However, Burnley responded well to the early setback. Nigel Gleghorn levelling from Paul Weller's free kick right on the stroke of half-time. Weller himself put Burnley ahead in the second half, but goals from Sean Goater and Sean Taylor secured the points for Bristol City.
Well, Crewe's form has been very in and out. They certainly haven't been playing with the fluency and scoring with the sort of brilliance that we saw last season. But they did look more like their old selves this afternoon against a Plymouth team without Bruce Grobbelaar. Mark Alderton again.
8th place Crewe began brightly. Adiabola's strength and surging runs, pushing and pulling the Plymouth defence out of shape. A little more power and less precision, and Mark Rivers would have been celebrating his first of the season. As it was, Crewe's precise passing and movement and a deft little touch again from Adiabola led to their opener. Billy Barr's powerful run was finished off with a powerful shot on 14 minutes. In the opening cut and thrust of the second half, Plymouth's Mike Evans was denied by a fine save from on-loan keeper Martin Taylor. After this, the Railwaymen steamed right back. Adiabola again the problem for the Plymouth defence, his snapshot kept out by the woodwork, and it was Adiabola's strength, skill and hard work that resulted in his 4th of the season and Crewe's 2nd after 61 minutes. Quite easy, isn't it? And then Crewe stayed right on track for their 4th home win, when on 85 minutes Danny Murphy made it 3-0 and 3 more points in the bag.
Well, having scored only once in their first 4 games, Stockport have really gone into overdrive, haven't they? Making mincemeat of Sheffield United in the Coca-Cola Cup, and with 12 goals in their previous 4 games, another 2 today, another 3 points. Jonathan Parry.
It's suddenly all come right for Dave Jones's Stockport side. Alan Armstrong, so instrumental in the midweek demolition of Sheffield United, headed home his 3rd goal in 5 days. Armstrong benefiting from some excellent work by Mike Flynn down the right-hand side. The second half brought a 2nd goal for County, this time an unusual own goal. Mark Morris, the unfortunate player, backheading Paul Jones's long kick into the back of his own net. Icky and Miura pulled one back for the Gills late on, but Stockport take 3 more vital points.
Well, 2 goals in 5 games explains what's been going wrong at Preston. Top scorer Steve Wilkinson has been sorely missed. But Michael Holt's beginning to do all right, scoring in the last 2 home games. That's 1 against Spurs and a real quickie today. Jim Beglin.
Preston couldn't have wished for a better start when Lee Ashcroft's 4th minute cross invited a show of bravery between keeper and Michael Holt, which the 19-year-old ex-Blackburn trainee won. And for the remainder of the first half, it was North End who controlled proceedings, with hard-working Lee Ashcroft the real driving force in midfield. Within a minute of the restart, Preston then doubled their lead in stunning fashion. Kevin Kilbane ran from box to box before providing a dream centre that Andy Saville was never about to waste. But that was to spur Millwall into their best spell of the match, and they were back in it on 64 minutes with a goal Bobby Mims was visibly annoyed to concede. Ricky Newman's shot appeared to go right through him. Fortunately, though, the home defence stood firm to the end, and if anything, Preston could have secured the points by a greater winning margin.
Well, just let's tie up the loose ends. The goals you don't see today, of course, you will see on Granada tonight on Monday. Blackpool going down, surprisingly, seeing they beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in midweek. A point for Wrexham, and Bury losing 3-1 at Walsall. In Division 3, Chester losing as well, although I think they stay in 6th place. We'll check that. Only Rochdale's 2nd win of the season, that lifts them up, I think 4 places. We'll check that as well. And Wigan going down at Scarborough, that drops them down 1 place in Division 3. Right, top of 2, Crewe in 3rd place, and Wrexham, who are going very well and have beaten only once this season, are in 4th. And at the bottom, well, thankfully no white lettering there, no Northwest teams involved. 3rd place, yes, Wigan down 1, being replaced by Carlisle. Chester, they're in 6th place now, as I just mentioned. And Rochdale were next to bottom this morning, but as I say, only their 2nd home win of the season, or 2nd win of the season, has lifted them up another 3 places. So well done. That's all for us on Goals Extra today. We'll be back with you next week. See you then. Bye-bye.